does it?
But it's up against Pia and Matongo. I would say that's a draw on paper. It's more Taylor and Ellis off the bench give you a big element of leadership and impetus, whereas Cuthbertson might come off the bench and try and throw the ball around and stuff like that. But does he get stuck in anymore as much? I'm not quite sure. Brad Singleton, is he in the right attitude space at the moment? Has he taken to the new coaching very well? I think there's question marks there on that. I just think leadership maybe is a little bit lacking at the moment. I mean, you talk about the captain Callum Watkins, who wasn't in this game, but does he stand out as a hugely fantastic leader anyway? They lost
and they're not going to get
legends of leaders, didn't they? They had 3 or 4 leaders in that squad that were massive for the club, not just for the players coming through and that sort of stuff, and they don't quite have that at the moment, so that might be a worry.
And you're not going to get anything from the halves either, really. Lalahia and finding his feet, and Richie Myler, who's able to do a very good impression of an invisible man when the chips are down.
Both seem to be kind of supporting acts rather than leading the team. Yeah,
and from what I saw, Sneed definitely stood up very well and did seem to be controlling very well.
He's playing really well at the moment and playing some expressive attacking rugby. He's taking on the line a lot more. You've got to give him credit.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the another game from Friday night.
Yeah, it finished St Helens 26, London 0 at the totally wicked stadium. It was 16-0 at half-time in front of a fairly decent crowd of 9,090. Marcus Griffiths was your referee.
I'd want 10,000 seeing the top of the table team personally, but
I suppose in mitigation you're not going to get much in terms of away fans there, are you?
We don't build our business around away fans in this competition. We shouldn't be doing.
We shouldn't be, but we are. Let's be realistic.
The London fans that were there seemed to have fun. Anthony Gelling was sat amongst them, so I saw quite a few London fans with selfies with Anthony Gelling, and our friend Paul Campbell was one of them who sent a picture over.
Sorry, you didn't do it. You're right.
Paul.
There you go. Yes. He's too busy taking selfies to get a game review, and then come on, Paul. Sort it out. Anyway, stats suggest that 26-0 flattered London in this one. Saints made over 1,500 metres and 13 breaks, whilst London made a very low 874 metres, which is in fact the lowest in Super League this year, with just a solitary break. Saints also had a 7.4% better team tackle success, London going over 90% tackle success as well as under 1,000 metres, on top of making more errors and conceding more penalties in double figures for both of those. The game did have the most dummy half runs of any of this season, despite James Roby not even playing, and London had 31 of the total 44, which does tell you a story in itself. In terms of the Saints, Kevin Nagama picked up a try, 10 tackle busts, 135 running metres. Mark Percival went through 9 tackle busts and 133 metres. Lachlan Coote got a nice little selection here, picked up a try assist, 5 tackle busts and 130 metres. And Tommy Makinson running for 119 metres. For that losing London Broncos side, Mark Ioane, 101 metres. Elwar Pelissier putting in 44 tackles, and Matt Davis, the newly returned, making 54 tackles. Is it that Matt Davis or the other one? There's 2 of them.
The other one's Matt Davies, I think. So it is the bloke who's on loan from Warrington, yeah.
Yeah.
Fan reviews. We start with Fat Boy Frog. Frogmore.
I wonder who this could be.
Frogmore just gets in touch to say, top of the league! ! Several times.
Yeah, and St David said Roby decided to give everyone else a chance in the Man of Steel by having a rest.
I'm so pissed off about that. It screws my fantasy team, although a lot of the people around me in the league have got Roby in there too. And yeah, if we put bets on for Man of Steel, this sort of resting bollocks does not help me out in those situations. But anyway, Go on.
So Smith got a start and did fine for 60 minutes. Credit London, they defended well, even with the game gone. Saints were patient and made weight of possession and territory count. The Coote, Lomax, Farge axis is improving, but right now our strength is defence, where we're making teams fight for every inch. Onwards.
Yeah, like they've only conceded one try, and that was from a kick in the last 2 games. That's pretty impressive from St Helens defensively. But anyway, this one's your turn to talk about.
Yeah, so, I mean, London didn't help themselves with Paul Abdul kicking out and not going 10 metres, so conceding a penalty straight away, and then they conceded from that set within, I think it was 70 seconds after the start.
Wow,
obviously, yeah. I mean, you're kind of glad for London's sake that James Roby wasn't playing, because he probably would have cut them to ribbons had he been there. So it's probably good for all concerned that he did have the night off. I think, Theo Farge, I thought, was my sort of star man for this one, particularly picked out from the highlight reel. Did seem to do very well. Really put in a decent performance. Seemed to be popping up in everything. Lomax again, really getting involved, doing quite well. And I think from London side, obviously they had Jacob Ogden making his Super League debut, and Rob Butler making his first Super League start. So they do have a few injuries, so they were having to throw in their kids as well. So that wasn't going to help them. But
we look down the list as well. Will Lovell, Matt Davies, Sadiq Adebayi, they're all London products too, aren't they? As well as Alex Walker. So that's a positive. That's got to be said good things about.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things, and Reece Williams captaining the side for the night and breaking his run of scoring all the time. So, it isn't hugely surprising, the result. I think that the margin was probably better than London fans would have accepted. I think anything under 50 points is probably, against Saints at the moment, is probably pretty good in terms of performance defensively. It's just a case of them, getting on and picking up the wins where they can, rather than this sort of fixture where they're not going to win.
Yeah, not a ton of tries to pick out, but was there any that was your favourite of the 5 we saw?
I think the Nagama one was quite good. That sort of coasting round, and that did well. I think he's someone you just enjoy watching, isn't he? And
you've got to say as well, him and Coote have started to really hit the straps in this side, which is
they've not really needed much sort of settling in period at all, which is a bit scary. But they're well underway and off they go.
Okay. That is that one. Done then, unless you had anything else to pull out.
No.
Okay, let's move on to Friday night's final game. This was the one that was on TV, and it finished reigning champions Wigan Warriors 6, bottom of the table Huddersfield Giants 14. It was 6-0 to the Giants at half time, so they were able to see that victory over the line. 10,114 were there. Robert Hicks was the referee. In terms of the stats, narrow stat losses in most categories kind of added up to a big overall loss in the positive-negative play difference for Wigan, really, on this one. There was one more error made, one more penalty conceded, 0.5% worse team tackle success for Wigan. Both sides made 4 breaks, but Huddersfield made 139 more metres and scored 2 tries to Wigan's 1. Individually, Jerry McGilvery, 206 metres, 3 successful offloads. Alex Mellor, 117 metres. Cruz Leeming scored a crucial try in that first half, and 41 tackles, 109 metres, so big effort both ways from Cruz. And Jordan Turner, 105 metres. What you might notice there is the entire right edge of Huddersfield's side were the people who made over 100 metres, really, and Leeming on top of that. That's because they did a lot of work running down that short side of Wigan, targeting maybe 2 of Wigan's more talented attacking weapons, I guess, in Williams and and Gildart, and also targeting one of the more inexperienced players that was out there for Wigan in Liam Paisley. So interesting tactical decision there by Huddersfield that seems to have paid dividends. For Wigan individually, there were some good numbers put up by a few players. Zach Hardacre, 5 tackles, 147 metres. Ollie Gildart, 142 metres. Joe Bullock, 5 tackles, 137 metres. He continues to go well at Super League level. And Gabe Hamlin is also someone showing the right sorts of attitude at Wigan. 44 tackles from Gabe Hamlin. Do you want to start with the first of the fan views?
Fatboy_Rob, Cowbell beats Cheats.
Yeah, POB 1976, Paul O'Brien, he says, Huddersfield started the stronger and deserved the lead at half-time. A great try from Wigan made it 6-all. I thought Hicks was correct in the yellow card for Tautai. Yeah, we found out Tautai's had a 3-match ban following that, so that might get some chat. Huddersfield kicked the penalty, then scored a try to make it 14-6 with 14 to go. Wigan were hard done by with about 10 minutes to go as Hicks gave a 20-metre tap instead of a dropout, but Wigan were not good enough tonight. Fair shout.
Ian Lenigan has taken the time to get in touch. So I'm very impressed. Well done, Mr. Lenigan. It's always nice to have a new listener. After taking further legal advice, I'm disappointed to learn we are unable to appeal against being utterly shite. Nevertheless, we intend to make our case to the independent tribunal as we look to have little chance of winning 2 points on the pitch for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Wakey White says, a strange game this one, starting off with a ludicrous 20-minute knock-on-a-thon before descending into a bit of a bloodbath, and finally a decent game emerged in the final third. Huddersfield deserved the win. Really heroic defence, especially towards the end when they were carrying all kinds of knocks. Frawley's kicking was a highlight, but what have you done to Tautai? 2 headbutts and a kick to the opponent's face. He needs a ban. Well, he's got a ban. I didn't watch this game back because Wigan were fucking garbage, so why would I? But I thought there was an element of harshness to the Tautai thing. I think it was dangerous play because his feet ended up in a dangerous position and obviously also made contact with the opposing player. So I'm not going to be the kind of person who sits here and says definitely not a sin bin. It's kind of like any sort of dangerous contact where you put yourself into a careless position like that. But to me, did he kick out? Did the replay suggest he kicked out? Did they suggest it was?
It looked to me like it was a kick out.
Right. Okay.
His leg was being contracted and he kicked out, possibly a bit too forcefully. I think 3 games is possibly harsh looking at it. I don't know what was said around it and what was supposedly caused it, but so probably I think a ban 1 to 2 games is probably about right. I think 3 games is on the harsher side, but it's the sort of thing we need to stamp out. So I'm all for it in that regard.
Right, yeah, fair enough then. You had a better take on that, I suppose, than me having, me only seeing it in the ground really and on those long distance replays. Fair play. Okay, Mark Butler said, Barry Mack with 5 minutes left said, I didn't see this coming. Who did? Asked Mark. Huddersfield's first half screamed of spirit but no luck, loads of enterprise and verve but not enough points. So when Wigan tied the scores, you'd have been a brave man to back Huddersfield. God knows what's going on with Wigan. If players take to the field with Lurpak all over their fingers, they won't beat anyone. Surely this can't go on. Yeah, the knock-on-a-thon was difficult to say, but... Yeah,
Lurpak all over the fingers sounds again like it's from the Robert Elson sex tape. Neil McEwen says, oh dear, how long before that bat sign goes up the DW Stadium for Wayne to return? On a plus, I'm looking forward to Widnes versus Wigan at the Summer Bash next season.
It looks like George Williams has been confirmed, by the way.
Yeah, he's off. He's off to Canberra. Williams.
So
that means, are they going to have anyone left in the halves next year?
Well, we've already got no one with a rugby brain. We've only just got someone with an incredible level of talent. So now we're going to have no one with any talent and no one with a rugby brain, potentially. So yeah, interesting one there, but
and that's before Zach Hardacre's done anything.
I feel it's a bit harsh on on Zach. To be honest, I think he
No, as in off the field. He hasn't done anything off the field to get himself banned yet.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. Fair enough.
Which form suggests is going to happen at some point.